this is our first foray into videoing, so please bear with us. It's going to be raw, it's not going to be edited, but we thought we would do a video on our latest blog post, which is the eggs. So we've hand painted some eggs, as you can see here, based on our new spring prints, which launched last week. And I thought I'd take you through of how I did it, and it might give you a bit of inspiration to do at the minute. So the things that you need are, first of all, the eggs. Now, you can boil real eggs and then they go hard, but to be honest, they're really hard to find at the minute in the supermarkets. We can't find them. So I got some plastic eggs online, which are linked below. You'll also need some paints and then some paintbrushes. I've got a variety of shapes and sizes. And then a plate or a palette to mix your paints, and then some water to wash your brushes, some loo roll, maybe not loo roll, or kitchen towel, or some kind of tissue to dab your brushes and your hands because it can get a bit messy. And then the last thing is, if you do have, I mean, sometimes the egg cup is fine, but if you do have a little paint palette that's got the little holes like this, it's really handy to let them dry. So we'll begin. Basically, I think the first thing to start is think about what you want to paint on your eggs. So like I mentioned before, I took the inspiration from our new spring prints, but you might have a book, like if you're doing it with your children, they might love dinosaurs, or you might want to do it very Easter themed with like lambs and bunnies and flowers. So that's your first kind of point of call. Pick what you want to do and then get some colours that kind of match. So I picked a colour palette based on my prints. So I've got a sort of blush, a blue, like a duck egg blue, and a green. I've got like an olive colour. I'm going to mix up some pink as well, and I've got kind of like a shell cream colour as well, and then a nice sunny yellow. So once I've kind of like mixed my paints, I then paint the egg. So they come, these ones white, and you can then paint them obviously any colour. So I will do this one, I think I'll do it with the yellow. So get my brush, dab a bit of water in, and then if you hold the egg in just two places, like I said earlier, it does get a bit messy, and if you just brush it all in one direction and coat it. Now, you don't have to coat it very thickly, because to be honest, you'll be waiting ages for it to dry. So I won't do the whole egg, but yeah, you can kind of get the gist that you coat it, holding it with just your top and the bottom, because then when you place it into your little container, so whether it's the egg cup or one of these, so this would be fully coated like this one, you can then dab the top where your finger has been. And like I said before, you do get a bit messy, so get a piece of tissue on hold. So what I will do is I'm going to take one of my eggs I painted earlier, and actually you can hair dry them if you don't have the time to wait till they're completely dry, because you have to wait till they're dry, otherwise you'll then be mixing colours on top and they'll kind of all blend and it'll go a bit murky. So I think I'll take the green one, and what I'll do is, you can see here I did a little bear, so I'm going to do another little bear. So I take my painted egg and I'll use one of my thinner brushes. So I'm going to take the cream, and if I look, it's handy to sort of see what you're painting in front of you and have a visual reference. Rolly eggs, not very good. Right, let's put them in here. Okay, so I know that I'm going to paint the base of him, the cream. So what I will do is, using my smaller brush, I don't sort of use pencil or anything like that, because then you'll get the marks on it. I mean, and to be honest, it's all meant to be a bit of fun, so if they're not the best, you know, then it doesn't really matter. So I'm painting the shape of him. I am using acrylic, so you can sort of see the brush strokes, which I don't mind. I quite like the effect. It sort of replicates a little bit of how I've created the brush strokes on the actual prints as well. So there's his ears. Sometimes if you are painting a light colour over the top of a darker colour, like a darker base colour, you might need to do a few coats. You can see here, I think I did a couple of coats, so I let it dry. One little tip, what I do is rather than then wash my brush and then kind of paint another colour, so I would, you know, maybe paint the yellow, I would then think, actually, what is cream? So, for example, if I thought, actually, I want to do my flower, so I would leave this one over here to dry, and because I've still got my cream on my paintbrush, I can then draw, find a good space, then draw my flower, again using the same brush that I just used to use the bear, to draw the bear. So draw my flower shape. Now, like I said, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but to be honest with these, painting on an egg, you really can't be, because unless you've got hours of time, which no one really has, just don't have a bit of fun. Don't need to worry so much if it kind of goes a bit wrong or anything like that. So there you go, there's my sort of flower shape. Right, I don't think there's any other cream bits that I'll do. So how about I'll take my blue egg, and everyone loves a rainbow, so I think I will paint some of the rainbow. So let's take the blue egg. Let's wash my brush because I'm going to continue using this one because it's a good size. And right, I'll do the first one yellow. So I'll take my brush again. Like I said before, painting on an egg is very different to painting on a flat piece of paper. So there's the bit, and I am going to, because of we're filming, I'm going to paint the next layers, otherwise you won't really see. So I'm going to do a blush next. Normally I would let it dry, to be honest, like as in the one stripe and then let that one dry, then paint the other, just so then they don't merge in. But for the video, I'm just going to paint the next stripe. Okay. Then I'm going to mix, actually no, I'm going to use my olive. I might put a little bit of white in it because it's quite dark, but you can mix the colours. Obviously if you don't have something in your house that you'd like to use. So again, right, and then lastly, actually I'm going to do two more colours. I'm going to do the pink, the brighter pink. So we've got the blush pink. I'm going to do the brighter pink here. Again, I've put a bit of white in it. Mix it in. Need a bit more of the pink. There you go, it's a bit stronger. Like I say, it's rough and ready, but it's a bit of fun to have. It's actually quite relaxing as well, so even if you don't have children, it's quite lovely just to do at the minute when you're kind of stuck at home, a bit bored. So finally I'll take this lovely green and I'll fill in the middle. So yeah, there's my rainbow one. Like I say, it is a little bit rough around the edges, and this is why this is good to hold it, though it's not really. There we go. So I'll take my flower now, because I just used that green, so I can do the stem on my flower. And again, using the same brush. Paint the leaves. Okay, So the flower's kind of coming together nicely. Leave him there. Now, if you don't, you know, love drawing sort of as, you know, illustrative things, you can be quite fun and just do a pattern. So we've got the nice blue here. We've got a bit green on there, so why don't we continue the green? Literally just use some nice bold brush marks. So just kind of dabbing it anywhere really. Mix. Now I think the nice bright pink would look good on this blue. Again, a little bit of kitchen towel is really handy to sort of wipe your brush in case there's a bit of colour still on. So yeah, just do another brush strokes everywhere. So yeah, just a bit of fun, abstract. Right, so let's put him here. I think I'll finally finish doing my little bear. So you'll see these are what I did before off camera. So we did a bit of gingham, some little daisies, some colour blocking. So again, if you don't have the best sort of hands with illustrating, just some bold contrasting colours are really lovely. I've got the strawberry, which is one of my faves. My initial, the daisy flower, which you saw me paint before, little chick. So yeah, that's kind of what we did before. I'll just finish off my little bear, I think. So I take my small brush again, wash it off because it's got quite a lot of the pink on. I'm really bad at washing my brushes and mixing colours. I always just kind of a bit lazy, but I just kind of dab it quickly. So we've got my bear that we had before. So we want to do his t-shirt. So take the yellow. And like I said, using acrylic, you get the brush strokes, but I think it's quite nice. Okay, and then what I will do for his face, so you can see here, I've got quite a finer brush. So I'll take this one, and then that should be dry. Like I said before, I would probably do another coat of that cream, because it is a little bit dull on the background. But I'm going to draw his nose. So with the smallest brush I've got, so this is his sort of background, his nose. And then take the brighter pink and do his little rosy cheeks. Okay, and then I actually haven't got this dark colour. So this one was for his nose, which is the yellow ochre. So it's a bit like a goldy colour, because in the actual print it's sort of like his features are all gold. So I've only literally done the tiniest dab because, to be honest, I'm only doing his little nose. So let me find my fine brush again. So yeah, get my little bit of goldy paint. And like I said before, I've got a fine brush because it is sort of his finer details. Draw a little triangle for his nose. And then his little mouth smiling. And then finally his eyes. There we go, my little bear. So yeah, this is our eggs, and it's on the blog at the minute, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And I just hope it's a bit of inspiration, because I know everyone's a little bit bored at the minute, and with Easter you're not going to be able to see your families and things like that, so maybe get some stuff offline and dig out your paints, and yeah, get a bit crafty.